r/TalesFromTechSupport, episode 15. Encyclopedia Moronica, W is 4 wins from zeros. It was a bright, sunny morning. Birds were singing, the call queue was under control, the preventative maintenance up to date, and the office conversation was pleasant and light-hearted. In short, it was a perfect day at work. Too perfect. Clearly, something nefarious was afoot. Caller ID flashed, the boss was calling. Time to lance this festering boil of pleasantness, and reveal the pustulant horrors within. And GT, boss, hey Gambit, and GT, me, hey boss. What's up, and GT, boss, well, I've got good news, and I've got bad news. Damn it. I knew it. And GT, boss, the good news is that we're taking on a new customer, major_store, and GT, me, nice. Do we have any information on what models of equipment they're using, service manuals, tech logins and whatnot? And GT, boss, well, this came to us through supplier, because they're using their equipment. Apparently the original service provider for major_store just closed their doors, and left all of their customers hanging with no notice. And GT, me, oh. I have a sinking feeling. And GT, boss, yeah. The bad news is that we started as of Friday last week. And GT, me, okay, we can. And GT, boss, and you have 3 outstanding faults at your local store. And GT, me, alright. Yeah, I can deal with that. Can you send through the fault information? I'll review it and then contact the site managers about how we can best alleviate their issues until we can get a permanent fix in place. And GT, boss, well, and GT, me, no, let me guess. Because this is so new, we don't have a way to get the fault information into our system yet, so we know we have 3 outstanding faults, probably even case numbers, but no idea what they actually are. And GT, boss, yeah, pretty much. Have you played this game before? And GT, me, more often than I like. Alright, I'll head to site and figure out what's going on. The site manager might be able to pull the information from their system with those case numbers. And GT, boss, cool. Let me know what you find out. Less than half an hour later, I walked through the front doors of the store. I located a manager and introduced myself. We walked through the site induction and signing in process. Then we started talking about the outstanding issues. And GT, manager, well, this printer prints funny. And so does this one. And GT, me, okay, I had 3 case references for faults. Do you know anything about this last one? And GT, manager, oh, here it is. Yeah, we called in the same fault twice on 2 different days and got 2 different case numbers. Oh, this is going to be a fun site to look after. I tracked down model and serial numbers for all the equipment that had faults lodged against them and departed. For now, I found the manuals for the printers online. The poor printing quality was likely due to faulty print heads, so let's opera this. You get a new print head, and you get a new print head. Everyone gets new print heads. Even the printers that they hadn't reported issues with because they were in the minority. The one that was printing funny also got a replacement main logic board. In the space of 3 parts deliveries over about as many weeks, all of the outstanding faults were cleared. And GT, me, hey manager, I think we are done here. As best I determine, all of the reported faults are now resolved. And GT, manager, that's great. Does that include equipment? And GT, me, what's wrong with equipment? And GT, manager, I don't know. The screen's black. And GT, me, I don't have a call for it, but I guess I can take a quick look. If it's not a simple fix, you might need to log a call. And GT, manager, great, thanks. And GT, me, I don't know where equipment is. And GT, manager, oh. There's 7 identical installs scattered around the building, so just have a look around, I guess. Great, I guess I'll just wander around until I find one that's malfunctioning. Well, we charge by the hour, so if they want me to wander about aimlessly, then the customer is always right. In this one, singular, very exact scenario, specifically, where it is at their expense, and I don't have anything else that I'd rather be doing. After a few minutes, I identified not one, but two sets of equipment that were non-functional. The first was a very difficult problem that took all of my many years of experience to correct. I plugged it back in. The second was considerably more complex. On powering it up, the BIOS splash screen would flash up, then the screen would go black and GT, me, manager? I've got no information on this equipment, is that what it's meant to do? And GT, manager, backslash 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 underscore, slash, and GT, me. Thanks. After a few minutes of the screen continuing to be black, I gathered that the equipment was not in some sort of startup processing state and GT, me. Okay, I think this has got something a bit more serious wrong with it. You'll have to raise a fault call, so I can book some time and parts against it and GT, manager. No problem, I'll book it right now. And GT, me. Great, I'll be back once I've got the job and the paperwork is in. Order and GT, manager, ha. I'm doing it right now. You won't even get out of the car park. I made it out of the car park. 2 weeks later, a new job dinged into my queue. At long last, the job for equipment had arrived. In the interim, we'd finally received the official process for investigating and troubleshooting equipment. There was a special USB cable, a SD card, and a whole official and trademarked process detailing how to reload the files. Now that I had a job, I quickly drove back down to the store, extracted the equipment, and brought it back to the workshop, so as to better follow the official processes. Official process #1, power up equipment, connect the USB cable, and access internal storage, to reload application files from external sources. Result, no dice. Equipment is completely unresponsive. Official process #2, boot from SD card, copy application files from SD card to internal storage. Result, nada. Boot menu doesn't even present on the screen. Official process #3. Unofficial process #1, improvise? I mean, fall back on the skills and wisdom developed over years of experience, poke at it, and see what happens. I consulted the manuals again, and again, and again. On what felt like the 900th consultation of the system manuals, I happened to notice a diagram that demonstrated the position of a reset switch under an almost unnoticeable pinhole. Given a severe lack of other options presenting themselves, I grabbed a paperclip and tentatively probed the recess. And, nothing. No haptic or audible feedback. I might as well have been pressing a paperclip into the workbench. Intrigued, I reached for a screwdriver. In moments, the case was open. Inspecting the switch revealed that pressing it produced the normally expected click. However, under the pinhole was a soft plastic cover, which had a small hole through it. The broken edges of the hole looked as if they might line up with the switch. Some short work with a sharp knife and some plastic cement soon had it repaired well enough to no longer trigger the switch. A further few moments reassembling the case, and I was able to power up the equipment, and this time, the BIOS splash screen lasted much longer than 10 seconds. After a few more moments, the store application loaded, and the equipment appeared to be fully functional once again. I grabbed the paperclip once again, and applied it to the reset switch. After holding it down for 10 seconds, the screen abruptly switched off. I watched, and waited, and watched some more. After a moment of watching the system not boot up again, I was struck by a thought. I applied the paperclip once again, and the system immediately began booting. The reset switch was actually a power switch, and after being turned off, it needed to be turned back on again. The damaged cover had been holding down the power switch, so when it was powered up, it would get 10 seconds into the boot sequence, just enough to display the BIOS splash screen, then turn off. That these tools of my hobbies were readily available in the workshop should imply nothing about my utilization of work hours, because as demonstrated, there were legitimate business reasons * for these tools, To be present / shifty is ***TL/DR. 0 information about a new customer, 0 preparation time, 0 useful official processes received from on high. Still resolved all reported faults, and few that weren't, in the first few weeks. ***ADDENDUM. ***NGT. Boss, hey Gambit, how has major_store been, and GT, me, A. Apart from their panshan for reporting a single fault multiple times, they haven't been too bad. Some of the managers can be a bit grumpy sometimes, but that's no different from any other customer. Why do you ask, and GT, boss? Oh, okay. I was talking with some of the guys from supplier. Apparently when they talk about major_store, the branch that always comes up as the example of the worst customer behavior is the one closest to you and GT, me. Well, good to know, I guess. They've been perfectly reasonable, so far, I guess. I'll keep an eye on them, and let you know, if they take a turn for the worse. Fun times. Passwords are KSESENZIV. As a disclaimer, I don't actually work in tech support, but I've picked up a few things from my husband who does. As such, I'm generally the go-to person for computer-related problems at my job in a hospital. I have this one co-worker, we will call her Liz for the sake of this story, who is laughably computer illiterate and has next to no critical thinking skills. One night at work she comes to me and says the computer won't let her log in. She brings me to said computer in our back room and scans her badge to log in, and it prompts her to input her password. Keep in mind, Liz had worked here for several weeks at the time of this story, and I had to help her call our help desk on numerous occasions to reset her password. Liz, what am I supposed to type in here? Me, facepumming internally, your password? Liz, but it's not working. What password am I supposed to use? Me, the same password you use to log into your email, the schedule, our software, and our medical record program. Very secure, I know. This isn't by our choice, it literally sets the password for everything to be the same when we have to reset it every 90 days, and there's no way to have individual passwords for every program. I've tried, Liz, I tried that, but it's still not letting me in. She proceeds to hunt and peck type in an all lowercase password. Our system has a requirement that there be at least one uppercase and one number. Me, about to head ask more than just internally, there should be at least one uppercase letter in your password. Are you sure you're typing it in exactly as you set it? Liz, that matters? Me, yes. Passwords are case sensitive for a reason. If you capitalized a letter when you set your password, you need to capitalize it every time you log in. This was not the last time I had to help her with basic stuff like this either. If there's any interest, I can post more stories to do with her as well as some of my other escapades helping people with basic computer stuff here at work. Needless to say, I had a beer or two when I got home at 8 the following morning. The funny thing is, I'm not tech savvy at all. I once somehow accidentally formatted my husband's gaming desktop and deleted his administrator account on it by logging into my account and watching Netflix. I just have the common sense to try basic fixes and Google it if I can't figure out how to fix it. How some people survive in this day and age without knowing simple things like passwords needing to be case sensitive is beyond me. Like selling your car to buy gas. Obligatory long time lurkerftper. Kinda short one for you, but bear with me. Participants, me, lol. Office manager, hygienist girl. Hig bit of backstory. This is a business in the healthcare field, who has 4 locations. 3 are practices and 1 is a call center / admin area that each use a separate VDI specific to each site. I set up for them to connect to each location and work from there remotely. Scheduling, notes, billing, etc. They need local database access, so they remote into the VDIs, yada yada. I get a frantic call from my mom. Hey, we took this workstation from location A and need it set up at location B right now to connect to %MEDICALSOFTWARE% database. It's not installed on this computer. Me, okay, well that's not a problem, let me remote in real quick and start the install. Okay, great, thanks *HANGSUP*. I think nothing special, these guys move PCs all the time, god knows why, but they are good clients who are usually receptive to our at best practices advice, and the doctors are good guys. I carry on with the work. I finish the install and reboot the machine. Upon reboot I log into %MEDICALSOFTWARE% and send off a message saying to that's it's good to go. Log out and wait for the user to sign on. I see her now entering her credentials, but she stops halfway through and opens a VDI access shortcut on her desktop to the very same location she's physically in. I call into the main line and ask for Hig. Me, hey, I noticed you're using your remote access here as well, but the software is installed locally, so you don't really need to use this connection. Hig, oh, I just needed this PC moved here, so I would have my bookmarks with me. Mind you, these guys are on XUite and all use Chrome with sync/header.me, so you guys didn't actually need this workstation to move locations? Hig, what do you mean? I proceed to show her that she can just log into her company Gmail and all her bookmarks appear in Chrome. She's all wide-eyed and mystified. I spend about 30 minutes trying to make sure they won't get charged for an additional license and carry on with my day. This is why you ask why you're doing something before you do it, folks. Maybe not the most exciting tale, but hey, healthcare is boring. But is it done? LTL, FTP warning. Not mobile though. But a short one. TL, doctor at the bottom and AMP, #X200B, I'm the IT guy for a middle-sized company. I do everything from managing the servers to responding basic how does this work questions. All internal stuff, and AMP, #X200B, one day a colleague from accounting, $CA, forwards me an email, forwarded to her by another colleague from controlling, a CC, asking $CA if the matter was taken care of. In short, the original email was from our ISP, stating the requested changes were made as requested. $CA forwards the message to $ME, asking if I know what this is about, and AMP, #X200B, $ME, it's about the changes to our accounts that were necessary. $CA, yes. But is it done? $ME. Please don't take this the wrong way, but I really don't know what else to tell you other than what is in the original email, literally stating that the changes were made, and AMP, #X200B. A couple of minutes later, I hear a CC and $CA talking around the corner of my office. I usually keep my door closed because I usually listen to music. Today I forgot my Bluetooth speaker, so the door stayed open. Basically that my answer was typically it, and some other stuff I didn't quite made out, and AMP, #X200B, lady, I'm really sorry. But really, what else do you want me to say aside from what you can clearly read in the original email from the ISP? The matter is done, ticket closed. You want me to write an essay about it, and AMP, #X200B, TL, doctor, to colleague don't read an email and get snippy when I point them to the original email answering their question. It and tech support can feel extremely rewarding. The little light bulb inside your head at the end of a tough issue, or just a long and strenuous one. There is a level system in our IT, and I'm tasked with maintaining agents' issues along with my own. Every once in a while we have someone that demands to speak to someone higher up. I have been looking to show my ability, so I decided to de-escalate him and have the agent transfer him to me, and I would work on his issue. There had been an update recently that was pushed company-wide, and there were a couple notable issues. Some were basically cut and dry. Try to do this one thing that may or may not work. If not, re-image it. As there were no other fixes at the moment. Enter I want a manager guy or $IWAM $IWAM. Hello, hello, $ME. Hello $IWAM. How are you doing today? $IWAM. Hi. Oh, I'm doing just great */s laugh $ME. */s laugh great. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. You're having issues after bad update, right? $IWAM. Well, I'm kind of your perfect storm it seems. Because the help desk always has a different fix for my issue and it's never fixed. $ME. Gotcha. May I remote into your machine? I remote into the PC, and I open up Event Viewer, and see nothing about his issue. He had been experiencing crashing applications at random, even screenshots would crash. Connecting to our network one way would crash IE, and he has to use this method and IE. Started that day after updates. They were telling him he has to get reimaged. I took this as an opportunity to try to find a solution to the known issue. I was transparent about what I was doing, trying my best to put it into terms most people can understand. I had no information for what I was doing. This is technically entry level, so we are mostly expected to fix a stray setting or check bus, or to rebuild a profile. I saw a random event in Event Viewer that referenced to DLL. Reinstalled the graphics driver cause of the screenshot thing. He didn't have a print driver in Device Manager, reinstalled that. Ran a system file checker. Had him reboot after each step. I did about another 30 minutes of T/S for general usability and cleanup. And had him reboot a final time. Everything started working just like a dream. Finished it up with a convo about dogs and the guy was super happy. That is one of the best feelings right now for me. I'm transitioning into other things, but it is a great experience. Edit. Entire callus did about 3.5 hours. Ye old ethanol cable. So the day started out well at the ye old tech support. Customers are having a great day. I love my equipment was actually working. Then the hope of humanity was lost. Where I work we also do over the phone troubleshooting. The lady called about her computer router not being able to receive internet once the power was ran into it. She said when she bought it there was no ethanol cord. In the entire conversation I continue to say Ethernet cord. By the end of the entire conversation I accidentally said ethanol cable. Keep in mind it was called an ethanol cable by the customer at least 30 times in this conversation. Just goes to show even it can screw words up, I guess, right? Take the computer out of my car. So I used to work for a car manufacturer. One day someone called in and said that they had seen on TV that people were able to steal cars using a laptop. He then insisted that we immediately remove computers from his van, which he had just purchased, and stated multiple times that he did not trust computers. I then spent an hour and a half explaining to a grown adult why it was not possible to remove computers from modern vehicles. After this he stated he would return the vehicle to the dealership and sue our company. I saw on the TV that people can steal a van with a laptop and a Wi-Fi. You have to take the computers out of my van. It's not safe. I don't trust computers. In a thick southern accent. Network changes. So today is the day my uni decided to launch its new authentication server for the network. I have given my bosses at a minimum a month heads up of what's coming in this change and how to handle it. Well, fast forward to today and nothing is connected to the network. As I sit in my summer class taking the first test of the term, my phone starts blowing up with everyone trying to understand why all networking stopped working. I quickly finish my exam, so I explain all changes as thoroughly as possible. In essence, the change make it so you can only authenticate if you can access a captive portal, usually a networking agreement page, and if your device can't use a captive portal, you can whitelist all your device's MAC address to bypass it. Now that I've explained how the new system works, the company's admin messages me asking what's going on. I painstakingly explain the same system over the phone, a lot harder than it sounds, especially to someone whose first language isn't the same as yours. Currently the system is running via the bypass method and against boss's wishes. Just goes to show once again, every university network is still god-awful. TLDR, school has new login for Wi-Fi and my boss doesn't want to use it. Welcome to college, boss.